Riquet with the Tuft from 50 Famous Fairy Tales. Once upon a time there lived a little prince named Riquet, but everybody called him Riquet with the Tuft because he'd been born with a little tuft of long hair on his head. He was extremely ugly, but a good fairy, feeling sorry for him, granted him that he would always have good sense and be so charming that everybody would like him in spite of his looks. She also granted that when he grew up, he would have the power to give equally good sense to the girl he wished to marry. About the same time, the queen of a neighboring kingdom had twin daughters. One girl was very beautiful, but unusually stupid, while the other was quite homely, but extremely clever. The queen sent the same fairy who had given Riquet with the tuft his power and asked that she could give a few brains to the beautiful daughter. The fairy told the mother she could do nothing for the girl except bestow on her the power to make beautiful the person whom she decided to marry. As for the other daughter, she will be so clever and witty that no one will notice how homely she is. As the two princesses grew up, everyone in the kingdom talked of the beauty of the elder and the good sense of the younger. Sad to say, the beautiful one grew more stupid each day. Soon everyone deserted her for her sister, who was always witty and entertaining. One day, when the beautiful princess was walking alone in the wood, she met an ugly little man who was richly dressed. It was Riquet with the Tuft. He had seen the lovely girl's picture and had immediately fallen in love with her. Riquet recognized her at once and asked her why she seemed so sad. Beauty, said Riquet, is the greatest of all gifts. I do not see how one so beautiful can be so troubled. That's all very well, the maiden said, but I'd rather be as ugly as you and have some good sense. If that's all that is troubling you, said Riquet, I can easily put an end to your sorrow. I have the power to give you wit and a good sense to the one I love. And as I have loved you, dear princess, since the first moment I saw your picture, you shall be the brightest and cleverest woman in the land, if only you promise to marry me at the end of the year. The princess consented readily, for she was so stupid that a year and a lifetime seemed the same to her. Besides, she trusted that something might happen to her before the year was over to prevent the marriage to such an ugly person. No sooner had she promised to marry Riquet than she felt a strange power come over her. Excuse me. She rushed back to the castle and gave her father good advice that he began consulting on affairs of the state. She soon became so wise and said such clever things that her fame spread through the country, and all the princes in the neighborhood wished to marry her. Now there was one prince who was rich, witty, and handsome. He asked the princess to marry him. She walked into the wood to think the matter over. She was greatly surprised to hear babbling voices and see dozens of little men running along with bundles under their arm. "Where are you going, good sirs?" she asked. "To Riquet with the Tuft," they said. "We are bearing gifts, for tomorrow is his wedding day." All at once the princess remembered that tomorrow was the end of the year, and she herself was to be Riquet's bride. And just then Riquet appeared. "Ah, princess," he cried, "you have remembered your promise and have come to meet me." "Oh, indeed I have not," replied the princess. "Surely you will not hold me to a promise made when I was so stupid." "Do not refuse me, beautiful one," said Riquet. "Do you not see that you will be take away all the happiness of my life? Tell me frankly, is there anything about me that you dislike besides my ugliness?" "No, truly," replied the princess. "I like everything about you except your looks." "Then I need not lose my happiness, for the same fairy who gave me the gift of making you clever also gave me the gift of being able to make the man you marry handsome. Don't you think you could learn to love me enough to do that?" He looked at her so pleadingly that the princess was filled with pity. "Of course I can, dear Riquet," she said, and she wished eagerly that he might become the best-looking man in the world. At once Riquet stood before her, tall and straight, with dark wavy hair and flashing white teeth. He asked the princess to marry him, and she agreed immediately. They were married, and with great joy, the people of having such two wise and handsome rulers.